right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Online Presenters, a virtual online Toastmasters Club. I'm your Sergeant at Arms, Dr. Sunny, and today promises to be a luscious meeting. Guests, please remember if you would like to be a member of our club, you must be a current or former active member of Toastmasters International and have completed at least 6 Toastmaster official speeches. We welcome you to apply for membership if you have substantial, relevant presentation experience. You can demonstrate your abilities in a 2 to 3 minute speech delivered during one of our club meetings. All requests for membership are subject to approval by our club members. If you have not already done so, please change your panel to ensure it displays your name and role. Hover over your video, right-click, and select Rename. And remember, please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. We have members and guests from many countries throughout the world, especially today. As a professional organization, we ask that you please be aware of language or word usage that may be considered offensive or otherwise insensitive due to cultural differences. And please note that we will be recording the meeting. Your video and audio contribution may be used for club marketing purposes. And now, please help me welcome to the virtual stage our president, Mary Ann Grady. Welcome, Mary Ann.
Well, thank you, Sunny. And Sunny, I have to say, I like your music. I'm vibing with it over here.
Glad to hear.
Glad
What
to
do you
see
have for
everybody
us, Mary
tonight. So
Ann? What do
happy
you
you're.
have?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What do you have for us today?
Well, I
Make
don't
it
have a lot of
luscious.
things to announce, which is good because we have a jam-packed night tonight, and we even have somebody who's going to be giving us a speech to see if they can become a member. So that's pretty exciting. Now, Online Presenters is a club that serves those who give online presentations professionally or aspire to do so, whether that means public webcasts, live video, or internal company video conferences and screen sharing sessions. So if you do any of those things or want to do it better, this is the place for you. So happy you're here. And I am just going to give it to our luscious Toastmaster of the day, Joni Renee Laidlaw, and she will lead us through this evening.
Just a point of information on that. The luscious Toastmaster of the day today is actually Jim Barber, fortunately, who could make it. So he will take us through our meeting.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, that's quite all right. I'm happy to share the luscious stage with Joni.
I don't know if I would have called you luscious, Jim.
Well, I appreciate that. I kind of took that for granted. Thank you, Marianne. Welcome, my fellow Toastmasters, to the, let's see, January 27th or 28th session of Online Presenters Toastmasters. And let's see, I'm Jim Barber. I am your Toastmaster of the day. I was scheduled to do it, and I didn't think I was going to be able to make the meeting. And now I did make the meeting, so I'm back to being Toastmaster of the day, but I'm a little bit disorganized. Bear with me. Because we have, as Marianne indicated, a jam-packed meeting, I'm going to restrict my comments on chocolate because I really don't think we can beat the introductions, the self-introductions that we had. But I'm going to restrict my comments about chocolate to simply one item of trivia. Chocolate was first consumed as a beverage, and chocolate milk, oh bless you, chocolate milk was invented in Jamaica. So for all of those people that wonder, just what is Jamaica good for? Hey, now we know they invented chocolate milk. Oh, that is good right there. That is you deserve a place in the halls of fame for that. Well, let's now continue with the rest of our luscious meeting. I wanted to slip the word of the day in there while I was remembering it. And we're going to start with our tip of the day delivered by the luscious, as already mentioned, Joni Laidlaw. Joni, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. My tip of the day is very, 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 very simple. The world's largest chocolate bar weighed over 12,000 pounds. That's not the tip. I just wanted all of us to see the world's largest chocolate bar. My tip of the day is actually that chocolate is the best medicine. The smell, just the smell, you don't have to eat it. This goes out to our diabetics. I think it's cruel punishment, but just the smell for those who are around you having it will help to relax and reduce stress. So what's my tip of the day? Have chocolate around in case I'm there. But even if you can't eat it, just smelling chocolate is that amazing. It will reduce stress. Back to you, our Toastmaster of the day.
And thank you, Joni. That was one of the most luscious tips I think that we have had in a long time. And I regret that I don't have any chocolate within reach, but I'm going to celebrate with some good chocolate as soon as the meeting is over. But thank you. I agree completely. Chocolate, as they say, laughter is the best medicine. No, 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 no. Chocolate is the best medicine. Now, let's proceed with the speaking part of our meeting. I have a number of people who are assisting me in this process, and let's see, some of them have changed, but I think I've got them in the right order now. David Carr, I believe you're going to be the vote counter. Could you explain to us what you're going to be doing?
Well, I will be counting the votes. In this club, often, if we will share a link in the chat, and you click on that link and you can vote. Very soon there will be a mobile app. This is the mobile app that I've been working on, tuned into online presenters. And there's a little check mark icon where you can click through, go to the voting tab, where you can vote for any of the speakers or other functionaries. And so this might be convenient. Actually, I was thinking it'd be cool in an in-person meeting to be able to have electronic voting, and also for our club, just so that you don't have to juggle between screens, going back and forth. So anyways, that's coming soon, and an iPhone version will be coming soon by popular demand. So working on that. But for today, I will be voting, counting the votes for table topics, best evaluator, and best speaker. And since we have some new people here, I should mention that table topics is our impromptu speaking exercise. So that's where the speaker gets thrown a question that they didn't have a chance to prepare for, and we get to see whether they can think on their feet effectively. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, David. And I want to offer an opinion before we proceed on. I think your online voting tool is magnificent. And I know that you have an awful lot of influence with Toastmasters International, and I hope that maybe you can talk them into adopting the online voting tool. I think that would be great. I love that. Okay, I believe the returning Mike Woodall. Mike, it's so good to see you. You are our watcher this evening. What will you be doing? You are muted.
First, I need to learn to turn my mic on. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The watcher's job, what I'm going to be doing this evening, is exactly that. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching each person that participates in the meeting. I'm going to be looking at your backgrounds. I'm going to be looking at the clarity of your cameras. I'm going to be looking at all those things. And I'm going to offer suggestions that could possibly help you kick it up a notch, to take it to the next level at the end of the meeting. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mike. Our chat monitor this evening may be unfamiliar to some Toastmasters, even long-term Toastmasters. Allison Blakeman, could you please tell anybody who might need to know exactly what you're going to be doing as the chat monitor this evening?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. I'm Allison Blakeman. I'm one of the newest members, and I will be monitoring the chat for activity and conversations during the meeting. Keeping it pretty lively. We're off to a good start today, Mr. Toastmaster.
Great. Thank you,
Back to
Allison.
you, sir.
Thank you. And let's see. Oh, we could not be a Toastmasters club. Really couldn't do it at all if we didn't carefully time all of our proceedings. And our timer this evening is Sarah Idahan. Sarah, what will you be doing as timer?
Thank you, Jim. As timer today, I will be keeping track of our speeches, our evaluations, and our table topics. For the speeches, we have one 10 to 12 minute speech tonight. So at 10, we will see the green light. At 11, we will see the yellow light. And at 12, we will see the red light and then have 30 seconds to wrap up. For our evaluations, we will have, for our 5 to 7 minute speech, at 5 minutes green, at 6 minutes yellow, and at 7 minutes red. For our evaluations, at 2 minutes green, 2.5 yellow, and 3 minutes red. And our table topics, 1 minute green, 1.5 yellow, and 2 minutes red. And then have 30 seconds to wrap up. Back to you, Jim.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. Jay from India, so good to see you. You're our grammarian this evening. What will you be doing as grammarian?
Thank you so much. Good to see you, sir. Toastmaster of the day, Jim Barber. Hello again, I'm Toastmaster Jay. Today, as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to good usage and not so good usage of the language. And also, I have the responsibility to introduce the word of the day, that is luscious. So let me share the screen. Are you able to see my screen?
No.
No.
Now?
Now we do. Well, yeah, now we do.
So the word of the day is luscious, means attractive, appealing, and often sensual or indulgent. It can describe something that is pleasing to the senses, especially sight, sound, or taste. Here are different sentences using the word luscious. The luscious green forest surrounded the tranquil lake. She had luscious, curly brown hair that cascaded down her back. And the third one, the chef prepared a luscious chocolate cake for the wedding reception. I think this phrase is more apt for today's theme. So please use the word of the day as many times as possible to increase your English vocabulary. And I will be submitting my report when I'm called upon by the Toastmaster of the day. Back to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Jay. I was checking my notes here of what was coming next. Kai, you have volunteered to be our counter this evening. Thank you so much for stepping forward. What are you going to be doing as the Wizard of Oz?
Well, this is actually my first time being an R counter, so I'll try my best to observe everyone and to take down some of these words and sounds that are used as pause fillers. So the likes of and, well, but, so, you know, and of course filler words like words like that. And of course, if there are any repetition of certain words like I that I said 2 times, I would also take note of all these. And I believe at the end of the session, I will be reporting to everyone the number of filler words that you have used. Yep, thanks everyone.
You got it exactly right. Thank you, Kai. We really appreciate your stepping forward, especially for your first time. I'm sure you're going to do great tonight. I think I called on all of the people assisting me in the meeting, so let's move forward with our prepared speakers this evening, our prepared speeches. Our first speaker, we're in for a treat that's even better than chocolate. Asil Bossanova. Okay. I did that from memory, Asil. Did I do that right? Because that isn't what I have listed here. Was that anywhere close? Anywhere. Anyway.
It's Boyran.
Thank you. Okay, Boyden. I was close. Asil tonight is going to be speaking from the Engaging Humor Level 2 path, Learning Your Style, Know Your Sense of Humor. It's a 10 to 12 minute speech, and her speech title is When Squirrels Drink National Hot Chocolate. Looking forward to it. Take it away, Asil.
It's 5 to 7 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry, 5 to 7?
Yes.
Okay, 5 to 7 minutes then.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, every time we join our Lashes Club meetings, Marianne, our wonderful president, greets us with a warm smile and an impromptu question. Every time I answer, I blurt out something without thinking because, well, there is no time to think. From the moment I close my mouth, my thoughts start stampeding like squirrels on National Lashes hot chocolate. Why on earth did I say that? Why am I overthinking my overthinking? Help! My brain is a runaway train of embarrassment. It's fueled by social anxiety and powered by self-doubt. The purpose of my speech is to explore the art of overthinking and maybe, just maybe, actually start listening to everyone else's speech instead of replaying my own answers in my head. Does this sound familiar to you? Drop a yes in the chat or raise your hand if you've ever replayed a moment in your head wishing you'd said something different. Yes. Allison? Sunny, yes. Jim, yes. Graham, indeed. You're not alone. According to a 2021 survey in the Overthinkers Digest, 73% of adults regularly overthink, while the other 27% are still overthinking, whether they do or not. Overthinking isn't just thinking too much. It's an art form. It's taking a simple moment like answering a question and turning it into an elaborate mental drama. For example, imagine this. You send an email to your fellow Toastmasters and accidentally write "Best be rude" instead of "Best regards." In your mind, it's a tiny slip, but overthinking turns it into a grand event worthy of an action plan. So what do you do next? Option A. Pretend the "Best be rude" email was actually a motivational strategy. Follow up with a 17-slide PowerPoint presentation explaining how Best Be Rude is simply rebranded as passionate goal achievement. Option B. Apologize profusely. Attach a detailed guide titled "How I Will Never Make This Mistake Again" and offer to take a typing course on your next day off. Option C, dramatically announce in the chat that you are retiring from all future email communication. Play sad violin music in the background and create a heart-left video message for your fellow Toastmasters explaining how one tiny typo ended your credibility. Overthinking thrives on the illusion that everything is critical. It convinces us that even the tiniest misstep, like blurting out something in an impromptu answer, is a PhD thesis on surviving our president's greeting questions, worthy of our hours of analysis and references. Why do we overthink? Research suggests it's often tied to fear of failure or social rejections. But let's be honest, sometimes it's just our brain bored and decide to play what if on a hard mode. Luckily, there is hope. Here are 2 tips to help break free from the overthinking spiral. First, practice 5-second rule. The next time you catch yourself spiraling, count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do something. Send the email, say what's on your mind, or move on. Action stops overthinking in its tracks. Remember, action kills analysis. Second, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 days? Overthinking loves to exaggerate the importance of small things. If it won't matter in 5 days or even in 5 hours, let it go. This is mental decluttering, like those obsessive cleaning shows. If the thought doesn't serve a purpose, toss it into the bin. Fellow Toastmasters, every time I join our club meetings, I remind myself, squirrels can wait on their national luscious hot chocolate. After all, I don't want to miss great speeches. Life is too short to overthink typos or spend hours debating if squirrels really need their national luscious hot chocolate. And besides, probably I'm already overthinking this one. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you, Asil. A wonderful blend of chocolate and nuttiness and squirrels. Thank you for that. Our second speaker this evening is Carrie Kong. Carrie is going to be speaking from the Dynamic Leadership Level 2, Learning Your Style, Understanding Your Leadership Style. It's a 5 to 7 minute presentation, Discovering Leadership Styles, the Power of Adaptability. Carrie's going to be talking about adapting leadership to fit individuals and situations. Take it away, Carrie.
Thank you, everyone. Can you hear me? Thank you, Jim. Can you see my screen share?
Yes.
Yes, but we're actually seeing the preview of your screen share as well as seeing the presentation. So yeah, hit the start presentation. That's better.
Now you're okay.
Okay. Can you see it right now?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Jim. This is Carrie, and today I would like to present about Discover Leadership Styles and the Power of Adaptability. Today I'm going to give you more introduction about the different types of leadership styles and why is leadership style so important, and what kinds of leadership styles I was having, and how did I use some of the examples in the real life to adapt the leadership styles to a more adaptable approach to resolve the conflict. And at the end, I'm going to give some of the summary. So let's start with this exciting, luscious journey over here. First of all, let's define what's leadership. Leadership involves a lot of guiding and influencing individuals and as a team towards achieving some common goals. It could be like embracing a company's vision, like we create the best product in the world, or maybe let's achieve some certain kind of financial results, or to motivate others to work collaboratively. Leadership styles, it really matters a lot because the right leadership styles, it can help us to achieve the luscious results, better performance, and create a better organization structure. And also, it could tailor the different approaches to individuals. So a good leader is not only good at leading a team, but also motivating individual members to do better so they can perform and they realize their strengths and they will be better in their career path. Why adaptability is so important? Because in today's dynamic environment and world, every leader, we need to adjust. There are so many technology nowadays. Now online presenters now representing to each other globally. We're working with teams, and a lot of organizations will have cross-functional teams, global teams, some colleagues from India, some colleagues from Colombia, some colleagues from Philippines, some colleagues from other different countries in the world, working with different time zones. So to adapt to their styles, the cultures, and to their languages sometimes is also very important. Let's see some of the interesting stuff here. What is my leadership style? A couple of days ago, I filled up a questionnaire, 80 different questions, super long. And I get to understand what was my leadership styles is about. It was really interesting to discover about my leadership style is of a blend of a mix. It was very luscious blend of chocolate. I learned that my leadership style was within the couple areas. It could be authoritative. It means that I will give commands, but also I'm democratic and I'm affiliative. So I'm more that type of collaborative people. I don't want to create conflict, and I want to emphasize the team results instead of the individual results. So this will make me apply to some of the real life example that I really want to share with you today. It's one of the collaboration project that I had when I was working in JP Morgan. I was working as like the business manager of the corporate tax. It was really interesting because I have to work with a lot of different colleagues from the regional hubs, and one of them is from India. And at that time, there is a colleague, and because we are facing a project deadline, I sent a couple emails to him and trying to chase the output, and he still didn't respond to me. So I was being really frustrated, and I didn't know what to do. And during that time, I just reached out to his manager directly. And it really gives me a lot of setback because after I reached out to the manager, he called me directly, picked up the phone. Out of all the 10 emails I sent to him, there was no response. Before that, reach out to the manager. He picked up the call and say, "Why, Carrie, you're doing this? You're putting me in a really bad situation." So that created a really big conflict for me in a scenario. So it's the communication. I feel like I was doing the right thing. I was being authoritative and demanding. But what was wrong is that probably there was a better way that I can reach out to him. Or maybe after like a longer conversation with him, I can adapt my communication styles, adapt my leadership styles, and make it a better one. So let's see how I broke down the scenario. So instead of just confronting him directly, I was trying to understand what was the situation. And basically, he was facing some family issues. His kids was in the school, but also was really sick, and he had other more important projects to prioritize. By being more understanding, and this, I changed my leadership style to more altruistic. to more understanding. Instead of just scolding and blaming, I took my full understanding on him, and I understand about like his challenges, and I was willing to give our support. So at the end of the conversation, by being understanding and comprehensive, I gave him some suggestions, such as he can give me some short messages about some of the deadline that he can give feedback to me on, and maybe he can delegate a task to other subordinates, and maybe there is a chance that he can give me some very simple instruction, and I can just do the task on behalf of him. So at the end, we reached an agreement, adapt to my leadership style, and then that scenario put myself as a better leader, at the same time himself as a better colleague. So last but not least, this is how we build relationship through the support. One of the key takeaway of this project is that I understand about being flexible is so important. That's why flexible leadership is crucial. Adjust our approach on the way of the team dynamics. It will enhance and make it a more inclusive environment and enhance collaboration. Ultimately, it can improve the team performance. But you have to know when. Sometimes you just adapt, sometimes you may not adapt. It depends on the situation and the environment, so that you know what is your best time to adapt. So the takeaway today is that leadership styles are important. Find out your leadership styles, do the questionnaire, ask more people around you, and figure out what is your style, whether it's a more authoritative one, or whether it's a more dynamic, collaborative one, or maybe it's a mix of both. And also understanding to change the scenarios and to shift your approaches is so important and make it the most effective. So this is my takeaway of the day. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Carrie. Oh, I've got so many people that I want to hear that. I want them to listen to that on replay. Thank you very much. Madam Timer, Sarah, could you please confirm that both of our speakers were within time?
Yes, both speakers were within time.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. And now in a few moments, well, it just came up. David Carr is asking for your vote for the better speaker of our two speakers this evening. If you could please go into the chat, use his magic voting tool and indicate your preference, I would appreciate that. While you are doing that, don't go away, because we're not done with the speaking this evening. We are done with the voting portion of our speakers, of our two speakers, but we have a prospective member who is going to be speaking this evening. However, our Vice President of Membership is going to handle that. So please help me welcome our VPM and birthday boy, Andres Moliko.
Wow, thank you very much, Jim. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow online presenters and guests, I'm really thrilled to introduce Christine Staple Embanks. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly, and I've practiced a few times with her prospective member speech. Because in order to become a member of our club, you need to show to the club that you have some skills, presentation skills, speaking skills, and it's something that we are really looking forward to. Well, Christine, this is your stage. Please shine. And I really look forward to your luscious presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As you heard, my name is Christine Staple Ebanks, and it's my honor to be here speaking with you this evening. Looking back, I never considered myself a speaker, though in retrospect, I really was. When I think back, I was a little girl in Sunday school production who memorized everyone else's lines, much to their annoyance, along with my lines. But when someone or someones didn't show up, which was often the case, I was quickly called to fill those roles, which I did, and did so with pleasure and did so with everyone's applause. Going through my school years, as well as my early work life, I was the person who everyone knew was to call for advocate. If there was ever an issue that they need represented and they were afraid to do so themselves, then everyone would call me. And as long as it was a just cause, I would stand up. But even then, I never considered myself a speaker. As far as I was concerned, I just spoke when I had something to say. In my personal life, though I'm a middle child, I'm the designated speaker for my siblings, 5 siblings. I am the resident MC for all family events, for friends as well. And I'm a facilitator and a trainer. But as far as I'm concerned, I speak when I have something to say or when it was necessary, but I still never saw myself in the role of a speaker. George Bernard Shaw once said, life isn't about finding yourself. It is about creating yourself. And those words took significance for me when my son was diagnosed with a disability. We lived in Jamaica, and I quickly learned that the services I needed to help him thrive were not readily available, and that they were on nobody else's agenda except mine. So my love for my child and necessity pushed me onto the public stage, and I took on roles that I never imagined. I became a speaker, an advocate. I became a nonprofit leader. I became many other roles that I carried out, and I worked from grassroots to policy. But throughout all of that, I still never saw myself as a speaker. As far as I was concerned, I was pushed to speak, and so I spoke. Looking back, I realized that I had been creating these different versions of myself that rose to an occasion, spoke to that occasion, but whenever I was faced with any other situation that didn't fall within the realm of what I knew, I shrunk back. I realize as well that creation is an ongoing journey, because even though I moved from a frightened mother to an empowered mother there, even though I have worked with different agencies across different countries, I sometimes still doubt how effective I am as a speaker. I don't know if anyone else can feel me with that right now. I ask myself, when I step out of spaces like I am tonight, that is not within my usual space, how well do I deliver? How impactful am I? How effective am I as a speaker? A couple of weeks ago, I heard Joni's speech about the 1,000 million me, and I smiled. Then I heard David's table talk topic about a spontaneous self, and all of those dredged up, all of those other selves that were long buried, because these selves rose to an occasion and then they were put away. I remember the bold me, who is not afraid of a new challenge and blazing new trail. I remember the shy me, who shrunk back and did all those hours during my hour count session, if anyone would remember. And I remember from David's talk, the self that people would always say to me, build airplanes in the sky. And I decided I wanted to reacquaint myself with those selves. That's why I find the Toastmasters experience so luscious. I've never had formal speakers training, and I know that there's a lot that I am to learn. So I'm here today to learn, to grow, to inspire, and to see how this journey can help me grow as a speaker, but also as a person. I admire the confidence, the adaptability, and the sense of community in this room. Toastmasters create a space where stepping outside of your comfort zone becomes an opportunity to grow, connect, and discover new strengths. And I'm stepping way outside of my comfort zone right now. As I stand here, or should I say, sit here, I look forward to the next steps in joining the club and uncovering the Toastmaster that is inside me, perhaps way down. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak today, and I look forward to continuing to grow and to learn and to be with you guys. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Wow, Christine, I'm blown away. I've been with this club for about 4 years. Honestly speaking, it's one of the best prospective member speeches, the most impactful prospective member speech I ever heard. And just to demonstrate that, I would like everyone to unmute yourself and just give Christine a round of applause. Hey, well done,
All right.
Christine.
Well done.
Well done. Well done. Just a little formality that we need to follow after your speech, Christine. If you would mind, please share your details with me in the chat, and I'll send you an email about how to join our club. We need to conduct the vote, just little formality. I'm sure we will whiz through it with no problem at all, but it's what Toastmaster International wants us to do. So we'll do it swiftly. Yes,
Okay.
and we welcome you in the club very soon.
Thank you.
And now back to you, Jim, our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Andre, our Vice President of Membership. And thank you, Christine. Not bad at all. Looking forward to future presentations. All right. And now it's time for table topics. And we have somebody who you don't hear a whole lot of, but he is older than he's ever been before. And please welcome our Table Topics Master of the Evening, re-welcome our Table Topics Master of the Evening, Andres Maliko.
Thank you very much, Jim. Ladies and gentlemen, guests and prospective member Christine, I have a pleasure to be your Table Topics Master. Just a quick reminder, what is that all about? Table Topics is 1 to 2 minutes speech that you should give off the cuff, or speaking off the cuff, spontaneously on a given topic. So I'll ask you a question and impromptu ask one of you to speak. So anyone can be called upon with that speech you should deliver. So please listen carefully and just try to enjoy. It's easily done or not. We will find out. So with the first question is, how would you describe chocolate to an alien? I'm going to ask Dr. Sani Fridge. How would you describe chocolate to an alien?
That's a great question. How would I describe chocolate to an alien? Welcome to our planet, Mr. Alien. I understand that you arrived here on a perfect day. Today is World Chocolate Day. What's chocolate, you ask? Wow. Well, I can tell you that it tastes delicious. It will melt your socks off or the green off you. I can tell you that it tastes really luscious, decadent. Now, those are words that you're going to hear in the future, but you really need to know is that chocolate is something that you enjoy when you're sick, when you're well, when you're traveling, when you're visiting another country or world. It's actually an out of this world experience if you get the right kind of chocolate. So, although I haven't described it exactly as I want to, I just want to share a piece of chocolate with you today. And I just hope that you can get a taste of what it's like to be out of this world. Back to you.
Wow. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Sani Fridge. Out of this world. Yeah, I like that. I'll probably make a note of that, how to describe a chocolate to anyone, really. Thanks. Right, and we moving on. So the next question. Do you believe in chocolate love? Kai, do you believe in chocolate love?
Chocolate love. Well, I'm trying to understand what chocolate love is, but I just make an interpretation that it is an infatuation and a craving for chocolate. Well, definitely I believe in it. I think it started when I was a child, and I was always I still remember this particular time when my mom actually bought me Christmas gift, and when I unwrapped that present, it was actually chocolate. I think that was chocolate at first sight, love at first sight in a way, because as a kid, it was something really sweet, really luscious, and I love those chocolates. And I remember there was actually not just a bar of chocolate, but it was a chocolate with the picture of a frog, and within that chocolate there's also some kind of um some kind of juice that will actually ooze out when I actually bite into it. So that was actually very delicious. So yes, I believe in chocolate love, but as with all love, it comes with certain sacrifices, and you need to also make it work. So after I have my chocolate, I will obviously have to exercise. And as a reminder, sometimes I also eat chocolates only after a meal, because it actually helps in keeping your glucose spike low, and that is very important in keeping us healthy. So yes, I think I do believe in chocolate love.
Thank you very much, Kai. Wow, I didn't realize that you could have love to chocolate, but healthy love. To my mind, it was all overindulgence with all that gooey, nice things. But being mindful of chocolate love is something I learned from you today. Thank you. And we continue on the chocolate and sweets topic. So the next question is, you want to marry the chocolate bar. Tell them about your feelings. Alison Blakeman, you want to marry the chocolate bar. So please tell them about your feelings.
Oh my goodness, Andre, I want to marry a chocolate bar. Well, you didn't tell me which one. So I guess I have to pick which one. That's a very good one. Let me think. Whatchamacallit. I think it came out when I was a kid. And whatchamacallit, you have been a big part of my life. You've also influenced my children. I've introduced you to my children. And we've had a very long relationship, and I would like to be with you forever. My children love you, I love you, and you are a perfect fit to our life. Even though I'm not much of a chocolate lover, you've played a big part in my life and have been there through some celebratory moments. You're very luscious, and you're always there when I'm down and need a lift or just to feel good or just a reason to smile. So, Andre, I think that is my reason and my answer.
Thank you very much, Alison. Wow, what an amazing answer. I was hoping that I would catch you off guard, but it didn't happen. As an experienced Toastmaster, you love chocolate, you demonstrated it can be called.
You caught me completely off guard on that one. I was like, please don't pick me. Please don't pick me.
Right, and Spot, the next question will be nice and easy. I promise you. This why, yeah, well, the question sounds like you want to split up with the chocolate bar. Tell them about your feelings. Mike Woodall, you want to split up with the chocolate bar. Please go ahead and tell them why.
Oh, thank you. Well, I don't know if I need to thank you for that question or not. So I want to split up with the chocolate bar, Mr. Table Topics Master. The only chocolate bar that I can think of that I would split up with would be, the Almond Joy Bar. The Almond Joy Bar comes in 2 pieces with 2 nuts. So I think the Almond Joy Bar would be a perfect way to split up with chocolate and share that other one with someone you love in real life. The coconut underneath the chocolate layer with the almond nestled right dead center, and taking a bite of that at the same time your loved one is laying next to you or sitting next to you, is quite a sensuous experience. It can be. The luscious chocolate oozing off the sides of the coconut. It's such a decadent experience. So I would never want to split up with chocolate. I would buy 2 and share them. Thank you, Mr. Topics Master, for this question.
Oh, Mike, the sound describing that delicious decadence, that the chocolate bar. No one would want to split up for that. That's for sure. Thank you. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, Jim Barber, I just want to ask you a question. Do we need to wrap up with table topics, or we have time for one more?
I think we can handle one more.
One more. Then this time is going to be nice and easy, perhaps. So the next question I'm going to ask is dark or milky? Jay, our grammarian, dark or milky?
Well, I would love to go with dark chocolates because when it comes to health into consideration, I think we should all go with dark chocolates rather than milky white chocolates because dark chocolates has a lot of benefits. Let me tell you one by one. The first thing is dark chocolates actually help us control our mood swings. And I guess in across the globe, many people have dark chocolates to navigate mood swings. Even my mom would love to eat dark chocolates during her mood swings time and during her tension, during her office hectic time as well. So I would always love to go with dark chocolate, not because it has good benefits, it has good taste as well. That is also the first and foremost reason I would say. And coming from India, I guess we do have a lot of chocolates. Not only dark chocolates, we have ritualistic and cultural based chocolates. We bake cakes at home. We bake a lot of Indian desserts at home. To be honest, I come from southern part of India, and we actually prepare a sweet pongal. In Tamil, we call it sakkare pongal. Sweet pongal is one of the famous desserts that we have in southern part of India, where actually you will get sweet pongal only in temples. So we consider it as a very religioustic and ritualistic or holistic chocolate or dessert that we have in India. So yeah, I would like to go with dark chocolate because I think I should always be on the safer side. So to be on the safer side, I would like to go with dark chocolate in order to be on the safe zone. So thank you so much, and back to you.
Oh, Jay, dark chocolate for me, 100%. Any time of the day, in a temple, out of temple, dark chocolate. So completely agree with you. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, guests, and my fellow members, I would say this wrapped up the session of table topics, which I love and adore. And in the chats, I put all the speakers who've spoken today with table topics. And Madam Taima, would you be able to tell us whether all of the speakers qualified for voting?
All speakers qualified for voting.
Brilliant. So please go ahead, click the link in the chat David just posted and vote for your favorite table topic speaker. And I'm done for now. Back to you, Jim Barber, our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, our Table Topics Master of the Day, Andrei Smolenko. Nice job. We now move to the evaluation portion of our meeting to be conducted by our general evaluator, who, surprisingly, is not Andrei Smolenko, but instead is our president, Mary Ann Grady. So, General Evaluator Mary Ann, take it away.
Well, thank you kindly, Mr. Toastmaster. Hi, everyone. I am tonight's general evaluator, and in this section of the meeting, we give the gift of feedback. And feedback is very important as you develop as a speaker because we think of ourselves one way, but it's always so interesting to hear other people's perspectives. So we have assigned evaluators for the speakers, and we have other people who will report on the things that went on during the meeting tonight. So let's get started. Dr. Andy Byrne will be evaluating a Sills speech about when squirrels have hot chocolate on International Hot Chocolate Day. So please welcome Dr. Andy Byrne.
Thank you very much. If you can hear me well, just show me your thumb. Hear me right? Okay. So thank you very much. When one looks at the totality of your speech, if this was a contest, Toastmasters has a speech evaluation program in contests, and they ask the judges to look at four main categories: analytical quality, recommendations, techniques, and the summation. And they award points based on those characteristics. What I want to talk about is content and delivery. When one thinks about your speech, let's look at some of the technique that you used. How was your voice? You had good voice modulation. You spoke at a steady pace, wasn't too fast, wasn't too slow. It was clear. We understood everything that you were saying. There was no problem with ums and ahs and filler words. We're very proud of how well you developed on that. The other part of content was how well was your organization? Did it start off and move through a timeline that was structured and well thought out? And when one thinks about it, looking at squirrels and trying to push that analogy for luscious eating of chocolate for squirrels, it was sort of hard to squeeze in how that had anything to do with the main premise of your talk, which was very useful. And that's a question that you always have to ask. Who is my audience? What is my message to my audience? And do I summarize it? Do I repeat it so that people walk away knowing what was your message? And you began to engage the audience by terms of a question. And once you ask that question, you got us all thinking about your orientation to your structure for the speech. And the important thing is that each of us has to look at how we put together our speeches. Are we focused on a message, a call to action? You had a call to action, you had a direction for everybody that was listening to your speech in their own lives. And you incorporated into your speech personal stories and how it impacted you and how you changed. You had some tips that you gave to everybody as well. In all, you met all the criteria of a solid, well-organized speech that was spoken without lots of filler words, stuttering, forgetting where you were, and it was very smooth. From this standpoint, you did an excellent job. We look forward to your next presentation. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Andy. Really appreciate that very thorough evaluation. Next up, we have Graham Cairns, and he will be evaluating Carrie Kong's speech about management style and adaptability. Please put your hands together for Graham.
Doing the Muppet thing. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Carrie was doing a level 2 speech tonight, the learning your style, and this is the learning your leadership style project. Now, anybody who's been in Toastmasters for a while has heard this speech given a number of times. Anybody who has, like me, done multiple paths has had to deliver this speech multiple times, and it is really difficult to deliver it and make it interesting. All too often we get bogged down in running an outline of what's involved in the questionnaire that we are asked to fill out. One of the things that I really liked about Carrie's presentation tonight was that she did not do that, and I'll get to that in a moment. First up, I want to commend Carrie for adopting the classic tell them, tell them, tell them approach. One of the best ways of delivering information that needs to stick in the head of the audience is to tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. And Carrie did that mostly effectively. I'll get to the mostly bit a little later. I thought that she outlined the results of the questionnaire that she was asked to do, talking about the analytical style, the democratic style, and etc., but without getting bogged down in what was involved in the questionnaire. She just spoke about how the response came back to her, and that I thought was particularly well done. Something else that Carrie did that Andrew just mentioned is she used a personal story to make the point that she was making. And I thought that worked quite well, with one caveat. Carrie spoke about when she asked and asked and asked for a response from a colleague, and it wasn't until she actually rang the colleague's manager that the colleague came back to her and then said, "What are you doing? You know, you're getting me in trouble." That was great to show that different leadership styles hit differently for different people. But what I would have liked is for Carrie to talk more about why that particular leadership style didn't resonate with that particular protege, because that's what we really need to learn from this whole project. And I think that Carrie did, because she made the point there that there are different ways of doing it. Carrie used a lot of slides, and some of those slides were really, really good. For example, the slide which showed a team climbing the side of a mountain, I thought was particularly effective. I thought the slide which showed the team in separate points and all being networked worked really well. There were also a couple of slides like a group of people sitting around looking at a random laptop, and I thought that doesn't actually add to what's being said. The other observation I would make about the slides is that I only like text on slides where the information needs to be retained. So no more than 7 lines, no more than 7 words. I quite frankly think if you can get away with using no words at all on your slides, then the pictures tell the story better. Having said all of that, I really found that this was a good summary of the leadership, learning my leadership style project. Carrie is obviously learning her leadership style, and she was able to tell us without boring us to death, as all too often happens with this project. Well done, Carrie. I thank you for that. And I will send you the written evaluation right now. It's sent. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Well, thank you so much, Graham. Now we're going to go on to listen to our reporters. The first reporter is our timer, and I'm not going to put her on the spot because she actually gave her report in the chat throughout the meeting. So thank you, Sarah, for that. Next up, we have our counter, Kai. And I'm going to ask all the reporters to keep your report to about a minute because we're a little bit behind time. So Kai, take it away.
Right. J 5 Allison 1 Andrea 1 Carrie 1 1 1 and 2 like. Joni Joni actually used a repeat a few times, and I think that's all from the R counter. Thank you. Back to you.
Well, thank you. Well done. And everyone, give Kai a round of applause. This is the first time he's done that. Nice work, sir. Next up, we have our grammarian, Jay. Jay, can you please give your report?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. And today I couldn't find any major grammatical mistakes, and I could see many of our members use the word of the day effectively. Kudos on that. So I would like to list out the names: Dr. Sunny Frisch, Marianne, Joni, Jim Barber, Assel, Kering, Andre, Kane, Alison Blakeman, and Mike Goodall. So these are the people use the word of the day effectively. And thank you so much. And back to you, General Evaluator.
Well, thank you. Was this your first time doing that job?
Not really. This is third time, fourth time, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Our next reporter will be our watcher. And tonight, our watcher is Mike Goodall. And we have not seen Mike in a while, so we are thrilled to have him with us tonight.
That's right. And that's Woodall, not Goodall, although I am
sorry.
good. Oh, the watcher. What a great moment it was for me this evening to be the watcher. What a great role to take on when I've taken such a long time away from you guys. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each individual person who I was evaluating. However, there is one common ingredient that a lot of people in this meeting had an issue with, and that is with your green screens. If you'll imagine, I'm sure everyone has seen these beautiful fish tanks. You go into a nice restaurant or something, they've got this huge fish tank, and the fish are all glowing with bright, luscious colors, and the green and everything. If you can imagine that your green screen is that fish tank, and that fish tank has to have its own lighting. It has to have its lighting. So behind me is a lighting just for the green screen. The green screen is my fish tank. And then for the face and things, you need another set of lights for that. If in the way I got it, because I practiced with it forever, my fingers would disappear as I stood. My hat would disappear back and forth. My outline would come in and out and things like that. And I imagined it being a fish tank and providing its own lighting. And that helped me. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
Well, you haven't lost your touch. Thank you very much. Our chat monitor tonight is Allison. Allison, please let us know what was going on in the chat.
Madam General Evaluator, thank you. I will try to keep it under 1 minute. The chat was pretty active tonight. A lot of discussions about wine, chocolate, everyone's favorite chocolate. And I love how Dr. Andrew puts into, during the meetings, some tidbits, some facts, information that we did not know. And also, I love his last post there, Anatomy of a Club. The chat, I had mixed feelings about the chat when I first, excuse me, joined Online Presenters, because I felt I didn't want to chat too much. I felt it was a distraction. However, I had an aha moment. Last week, we had at my organization, we had a 2-day called SKO, Sales Kickoff Meeting, and it was all virtual. So we spent the majority of the day in an online meeting. And chat becomes very, very critical to share information, thoughts, and ideas and relay information. So last week, that was kind of an aha awakening moment for me that the chat is an important part. And while speakers, we chat when someone speaks, we can still listen. And as online presenters, we are multitaskers. That's what we do. We have to manage our slides. We have to manage our keyboards. We have to watch our presentation. We have to watch our webcam. So the chat is a very important role. So I want to keep encouraging everyone during our meetings to participate in the chats, make it fun. So that's my evaluation for today, Madam General Evaluator. Back to you.
And I like it. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Now, let's see. I think that's all our reporters for tonight. Oh, Let's see, I'm going to give you the general evaluation of the entire meeting. Now, we did start a little late, and that's probably my fault because I got really carried away talking about desserts before the meeting started. Estelle, I don't know if this is the right place for this, but I didn't hear anyone mention it to you. Everyone overthinks things at some point in their life. And what I have found is that just be your authentic self because we all love you and we really appreciate when you bring your thoughts and ideas to us. So don't ever hesitate and don't overthink it because we like it. And by the way, I didn't want to cause anxiety. Let's see, Carrie, just make sure that you know how to work your background because you started and you weren't in presentation mode and somebody had to bring that to your attention. A good way to do that is to get to the meeting early and just try it so you know what things are right and we'll all help you. We're there pretty early. We're there from usually about 7 o'clock on. So if you need to jump on, feel free. Uh, do, do, do. That was a fantastic prospective member speech from Christine. Wouldn't you all agree? I just found her to be inspirational and all the things that she's done so far, quite admirable. So I love that. I liked the fun themed table topics from Andre. When you were giving your questions and everyone was giving their answer, everyone was smiling. It was wonderful. Dr. Andy Byrne, when you are speaking, you should not say, "Can you hear me?" If you turn your mic on, we should be able to hear you. And if we can't, somebody will say something to you. So don't begin your presentation with that. We had a great word of the day. And Asil got us to sing happy birthday to Andre, which was so nice. So happy birthday, Andre. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Please don't forget to call David and give us the results of the votes.
Okay, Mr. Vote Counter David Carr, what did the votes do?
Well, let me see. I just want to share my screen. I'm gonna go backwards through them. All right, this is a little bit off, but so drum roll please for evaluator. Best evaluator, Graham Cairns. For table topics, I do have to tell you that I had to exercise my powers as a tiebreaker here because I was told that there are no ties in Toastmasters. You decide on a result, and
That's right.
so the table topics goes to Allison Blakeman, but there are votes for just about everybody. And our best speaker of the evening is Asil. Woo-hoo! That is my report.
And thank you, David, and thank you to our winners. And now I return control to our president de jour, Marianne Grady. You are muted.
You were supposed to say, can you hear me? And then we could have told you.
Well, tonight was a really fun meeting and we're so glad that all of you came out tonight. I would like to remind everybody that on February 24th, we have a meeting on parliamentary procedure. That's going to be our educational session of the month. And that's presented by Barbara Proctor and Penelope Bohm. So please, if you're free, come on by. Now, at this point, I'm going to end the meeting, but I'm also going to go back